What family rule did you break that got you disowned? My family had one rule: never work for anyone else. We owned construction companies for 4 generations. My great-grandfather built half the bridges in our county back in the 1940s, using nothing but concrete mixers and pure determination. My grandfather expanded into commercial buildings during the 80s boom, putting up shopping centers and office complexes that still stand today. My dad ran 3 crews and made decent money. Not rich, but comfortable enough to own a house, send kids to decent schools, and take the family to Galveston every summer. At 18, I was supposed to take over Dad's crew. He had it all planned out like a military operation. Start me on foundations for 6 months. Work up to framing for a year, learn electrical and plumbing basics, eventually run my own sites by 25. Martinez men build things, he'd say every morning over coffee and chorizo. We don't push papers in some air-conditioned office while real men sweat. But I had a secret. I'd been coding since I was 12. Started with basic HTML after finding an old computer programming book at a garage sale for 50 cents. Moved to JavaScript, then Python, then whatever language caught my interest. While my cousins learned to read blueprints and measure twice cut once, I was building websites for local businesses under fake names. Made $50 here, $100 there for simple sites. Nothing my family would notice missing from their wallets, but enough to buy better coding books and eventually a decent laptop. Programming isn't real work, Dad would lecture whenever technology came up at the dinner table. You push buttons all day and produce nothing you can touch. We build houses that last 100 years. When the power goes out, when the internet crashes, people still need shelter. You can't live inside a computer. So I played along like an actor in the world's longest performance. Worked construction all day, hands cracked from cement mixer handles, back aching from carrying 60-pound bags of rebar, shoulders burning from swinging hammers for 8 hours straight, then coded all night in my garage, building apps while my muscles screamed and my eyes burned from laptop screens. My bedroom light stayed on until 3 a.m. most nights, sometimes later when I got really deep into a problem. My mom would bring me coffee around midnight. Mijo, you need sleep. Your body needs rest. Just finishing something, Mom. 5 more minutes. You said that 2 hours ago. She never asked what I was working on. Maybe she knew it would upset Dad. Maybe she just trusted me to make good choices. But every night, there'd be a fresh cup of coffee on my desk when I got too tired to focus. By 20, I'd built a project management app that tracked construction jobs from start to finish. It was actually pretty sophisticated. Automatically calculated material costs based on square footage, scheduled deliveries to avoid delays, tracked worker hours for payroll, even predicted weather delays based on forecast data. I was proud of it. Really proud. I showed it to my dad one Saturday morning, after he'd had his coffee and was in a good mood. He barely glanced at the screen for 30 seconds. Waste of time, boy. Real men track this stuff in their heads and on paper. My father built 15 bridges without a computer. My grandfather put up half this town with nothing but a slide rule and common sense. That summer changed everything. A startup in Austin reached out through my GitHub profile. They'd seen some of my open source contributions and wanted to talk. The conversation started casual, just a phone call about my coding background. But when they offered me $120,000 plus equity and full benefits, my hands started shaking so hard I had to put the phone down. That was more than Dad made in 2 years running 3 full crews. I practiced the conversation in my bathroom mirror for 2 weeks. Different approaches, different words, trying to find a way to break the news that wouldn't explode into World War III. Dad, I got a job offer. He looked up from his newspaper with a smile. Good for you, boy. Johnson Construction needs another foreman. I told him you're ready to run a small crew. Start with bathroom remodels. Work your way up. No, Dad, a tech job in Austin. They want me to build software for their company. Full story on the channel. Link below.